Sage reporting for Kalkine Media. Thank you for joining us. Please stay watching for the Australian Stock Market Close Report. Why Australian equity markets are on track for losses. Australian equity markets are on track to report losses for the week and the day. The fall in the benchmark index is broad-based and each of the subsector indexes are tracking lower today. ASX 200 is down nearly 126 points at the close. Rising risk-free rates across the board have forced the investors to sell stocks. Australian bond yields have climbed up significantly this week, driven by a global surge in sovereign bond yields. Investors are dumping risk-free assets as economic uncertainties are fading. Nations are vaccinating masses rapidly and the impending global recovery is not very far. Meanwhile, a probable rise in infection and the number of cases will likely force some nations to impose lockdowns, which will hurt momentum. Over the week, investor sentiment has remained bullish on cyclical stocks, which are relatively more sensitive to economic activities. Industrials, energy, materials, consumer discretionary, financials are the sectors to keep a close watch on. Australian yields have also threatened many companies which operate globally. It is known that the Reserve Bank embarked on a bond buying program to lower yields on long-term rates, which compressed the interest rate differentials against other advanced economies. The spread on interest rate differential against the US rose considerably yesterday, forcing the Aussie dollar to hit 80 US cents for an Australian dollar. This means that Australian goods are becoming expensive in overseas markets. The Reserve Bank of Australia would be looking at the matter of the rising Australian dollar. Given the level of increase in bond yields, the bank may choose to raise the intensity of bond purchases to have a more significant impact on yields. The yield on the Australian 10-year bond was around 1.84%. Commodity prices were largely higher today with gains in iron ore, copper, coal, oil, but gold and silver prices were tracking lower. Silver Lake Resources was the highest gainer in the ASX 200 index, followed by Perseus Mining, Lynas Rare Earths, AMP Limited and Westgold Resource. Most losses were seen in Orica Limited, Service Stream, PointsBet Holdings, Afterpay and Kogan.com. Thanks for watching Sage reporting for Kalkine Media.